the bleeding ear. Yeah. Oh.
Playing it loud like in the studio.
Well, 7.1 WJBB Bleeding Ear, chance to get your music on the radio. And if you'd like to get your music on the radio, it's all brought to you by Carden Records in Brazelton. All you got to do, drop me a line, send it to ChristopherRudeRadio@gmail.com, and just say, hey, I got a couple of songs I think the world needs to hear. Maybe include a song, a little bit of a bio, some contact information. The next thing you know, you'll be on. Just like Drew Ashworth joining us this morning. Hey, Drew.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hey, buddy. What time did you have to get up this morning?
Oh, man, I've been listening to you since about 5:30 this morning.
Oh, my apologies.
No. I love the show, man. I've been a big fan for a long time, man. I'm honored to be a part of it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. A pleasure. The pleasure is ours. And you had mentioned last night that you've actually been listening to me since you were a baby.
Well, yeah, I guess a baby. I grew up listening to rock radio with my hippie parents, so we know Christopher Rude very, very well.
Now, the hippie parents, are they the ones that kind of got you into the music thing?
Absolutely, man. My parents' record collection, the Allman Brothers, Steely Dan, Wet Willie, all the Southern rock bands, the Southern rock and soul bands, a lot of R&B, a lot of Otis Redding, all the, like, I was listening earlier and you guys were giving away tickets to an R&B show.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wish I could go to that.
Well, you can. if you want, you're probably gigging, but if you wanted to go, you could certainly go. We could get you on the list.
Yeah, that's one of the things that people don't realize about being a pro gigging musician is that, man, you never get to go see shows because you're always working.
Yeah. Now you're doing that for a living, right? You're making a living being a musician.
Yes, sir. We got a little monkey wrench in those plans about a year ago, but we managed to make it through, and I'm very blessed and I'm very lucky to be able to earn a living doing what I'm supposed to do without using my gifts, I should say.
At what point, when you're a kid and you're listening to, you're being exposed to a lot of music through your parents, at what point did you decide, hey, you know what, I think this is something I'd like to pursue. This is something that I think I could make a living at.
Well, when I first decided that this is what I was going to do, I didn't think anything about the money. I was about 5 years old when I figured out that I was really supposed to do this. And the money part, it has I'm not a rich man, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I don't want to get too religious on you, but God doesn't give you wings if He doesn't want you to fly.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm flying.
Uh-oh.
I'm listening to you at 5 years old. I don't think I knew what I wanted to do until I was about 25. I mean, what the heck? And some days I still struggle.
I stepped on stage at the Presbyterian Church in Carrollton, Georgia, and we did I did Silent Night as a solo as a 5-year-old. And I brought the house down, and right then and there I knew that that was what I was meant to do.
Wow, got that buzz from the crowd. Now you were singing first, I assume.
I've been a singer my whole life, but I've always been interested and gravitated towards music. All my toys growing up were music-related drums and little plastic guitars and what. But I got my first honest guitar. It was a Spanish-style learner model, and I found it in my grandma's attic. And I had to fight my cousin for it, but I won. And so I had this little Sears and Roebuck, Spanish-style starter guitar for like 5 years, trying to figure out what to do. And just annoying people like my parents, and then they finally said, you know what, we need to get you some lessons in an actual guitar so you stop annoying us.
That's very cool. Now, do you consider yourself to be a better singer or guitar player, or both?
Definitely. I think I'm a better singer. Yeah, I think most people would say that. That's where my gifts really lie. I've had to work really hard to get where I am on guitar, and honestly, I used to think I was a really good guitar player until I went to Nashville the first time. And then when I went to Nashville the first time, I was like, oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a little scary when you get around people who can really flat play.
Who have the gift, the gift, and then they've spent their whole life working to perfect it. And so you go to a place like that as a musician, and you really have to. It's an ego check, you know what I mean? But I'm happy to say that my ego is really not involved in my music. I try not to let it be. all about me,
Now,
even though that's the name on the sign, if that makes sense.
Drew, don't you have some big event coming up, some big blues event that's coming up?
Yes, sir. I've been a member of the Atlanta Blues Society for many years, and this year they've selected to have me compete in the Atlanta Blues Challenge, which is August 21st at Mad Life Studios in Woodstock, Georgia.
Yeah.
The tickets are available via their website and whatnot. But if I win, I'm competing in the solo category, and if I win, I'll be selected to represent the city of Atlanta in Memphis, Tennessee at the International Blues Challenge in January 2023.
Oh, that's
Wow.
cool.
It's a huge opportunity for me, and I hope that a lot of your listeners will show up and support the event, if not necessarily me. Everybody that buys a ticket gets a vote, and it's going to be a really fun day. If you like blues music, you like soul music, you live around Atlanta, we're very blessed. We have a very big scene. And if you want to know more about that, just check out the Atlanta Blues Society.
All right, very cool. We're talking to Drew Ashworth. He's got a new song called Agents of Change. What can you tell us about the new music that you're making?
Okay, so this particular song, Agents of Change, you know, I'm not a politician, man, and but it seems like there's just a lot of division going on in the country politically, socially. And as a musician, you know, that's just not really what I'm about, man. You know, these politicians and people, they try to divide everybody up into their little sects. Well, I'm a musician. I'm an entertainer. And so my job is to bring everybody from those little sects out of their houses and back together as one group, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like the anti-politician. You dig it?
Good. I do. As a matter of fact, I do.
And that's kind of what I'm talking about with being an agent of change. It's like, you know, all these people, they want to divide us up and talk about our differences. But really, Chris, when it gets down to it, we got a whole lot more in common with each other than we got different from each other.
Yeah.
And I think as Americans, as citizens of the world, as Homo sapiens, we need to get back to that instead of all this divisive stuff. And I'm not a politician, man. I don't belong to a political party. I'm not going to run for office, but I am a songwriter. So all I can do is write songs.
Well, I appreciate the positive message this morning, Drew. That's awesome. And I think you're right. You're spot on with that. And you know what? Politicians benefit from keeping us divided because it helps with the fundraising.
Absolutely. It's in their interest.
It's in their best interest. No doubt about it.
But it's not in our interest, Chris.
Absolutely. You are absolutely correct. Spot on. If you decide to run for political office, let me know. You got my vote.
Oh, no, man. I got too many skeletons in my closet. There's no way.
Drew, I guess your music is available on all the platforms, I would assume.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My record company, I just signed a contract with Eminent Music Group, so you can find my music anywhere where you stream and download. You can go to YouTube and find it. You can even go to a couple of indie record stores and find some CDs if you're old school like me.
All right, very cool. Hey, Drew, thanks for spending a couple of minutes with us, man. We appreciate it very much, and good luck with that competition. I hope you win it.
Hey, thank you very much for having me on. And if I win, I'll come back on and talk to you.
Absolutely. Hey, tell you what, if you got another song you want to play and you want to come back and talk about it, you're more than welcome.
Well, we got a single coming out in a couple of weeks called Another Lover. If you guys want to know more about that, just hit up my website, drewashworth.com, or my social media is at Drew Ashworth Music.
All right, very cool. Why don't you come back on and we'll play that song in a couple of weeks?
Absolutely, man.
All right.
Absolutely. It's a date.
Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys. Good morning, everybody. Bye-bye.
Drew Ashworth joining us this morning, 107.1 WJBB. The new song, as he mentioned, is called Agents of Change.
Hear the people all scream in anger. They're shouting down the other side. Storms go to war against their brother, never knowing just who is right. Who can you trust in this time of trouble? On both sides have a bought and sold. You look within for the strength to guide you and take back what is in your soul. And this world needs agents of change. This world needs